Welcome to the Edge of NFT, the podcast that brings you the top 1% of Web3 today and what will stand the test of time. We explore the nuts and bolts of the business side and also the human element of how Web3 is changing the way we interact with the things we love. This podcast is for the dreamers, disruptors, and doers who are pumped about this ecosystem and driving where it goes next.
Hi everyone, this is Josh Krieger, live in New York at NFT New York with a special episode of Edge of NFT. And I was speaking today with the team behind WrldChngrs, including Alejandro Reyes-Knight, the CEO of NFT Market, and one of the original inspirations behind the project. So we're excited about this special sponsored episode. And I'll talk a little bit about the crew we have in front of us today. Alejandro has over 20 years of creative direction, art, film, music, NFTs, and AR. And someone I've known for quite a long time, because of his institution, Winston House, that he co-founded. And he's also contributed to the fields of advertising, educational consulting, and videography beyond Web3, including working with folks like Damien Hirst, Paul McCarthy, Jake Bugg, Paul Weller, Black Sabbath, and Pink, to just name a few of the iconic folks that have been in his orbit over the last several decades. We also have Dyana, who's Boston-based like myself, what's up, who specializes in web design and product management, now making her mark in the NFT art world with a keen eye towards design and strategic approach to digital projects. She seamlessly blends traditional aesthetics and digital innovation, so we'll talk about that as well. And for those of you that are listening, Dyana is rocking an incredible superhero outfit, which you'll see is one of our major themes of today's conversation. Last but not least, we have A-Town, who has 12 years of product management experience in e-commerce, digital advertising, entertainment, and as well as media data science. And for the last 3 years, he's been running a Web3 development agency called Metaseed Labs that has worked with clients like Chris Brown, Lyrical Lemonade, IMAX, and recently joined the team at the foundation as a senior product manager. So for those that haven't heard yet about WrldChngrs, you're going to hear all about it today. This is a unique NFT universe where players control heroes of various classes and body types, each uniquely generated. And the innovative AI technology ensures that each hero is one of a kind, with a user's journey directly influencing their hero's development and the impact that they make in the game and symbolically in the real world. I was a big fan of Heroes the Show, so I feel like we all need heroes in our life, and especially at this current moment. So really important topic that we should dive into, and great to have you all on the show.
Thanks for having us.
So Alejandro, let's start with you, man. In like all your perspectives, like we're here on the ground in New York. Things are definitely different than a year ago and the year before that. It feels like there's some degree of acceptance that the speculation component of the market is gone. Like we've all come to terms with that. And there's this idea of real building, but I'm not sure if we all understand what that means and what the implications are. What's your thoughts being here on the ground so far? And you guys have been here for over a week. I just got here a couple days ago.
Yeah, it's been great. It's been good. I'm based in Venice Beach, California, and I've been in New York for just about a week now, and been at the conference and around here for a few days. And it's just been interesting just to walk around here, what you listen as you're walking past people, digital, technology, collectibles, digitals, ownership, rights, all those things. And so I'm just really listening, learning constantly, and seeing who's around as well.
And what's the sentiment?
I think it's a whole new space. It feels like tides come, and that's some.
It's like a restart.
It's a restart. Yeah.
You had some thoughts there?
Yeah, I mean, I've been in the NFT space now for 3 years, and the first wave that I was part of, it definitely felt just very degenerate, like make a quick buck type energy. And now that I think a lot of the people that are still here survived one bear cycle that really shook out the grifters, and now I think the people that are here are really here to build and build on the technology.
So how do you reconcile that with all this meme coin stuff going on?
Meme coins is another energy. I think it's building a fresh energy. It's giving people another tool that they can use to experiment on the blockchain it is definitely still like that quick buck energy. But I do think meme coins gives people a way to like earn liquidity that they can now turn around and invest in art and invest in projects that are actually building things that they care about. So in one way, like sourcing new liquidity for the market is still a good thing, because now people who make a bunch of money on a meme coin can go bid on their favorite artist one of one.
Yeah.
So it does, you know, lift up the tide for everyone.
For sure. And Diana, any other thoughts? I mean, this is a newer space for you. What are you feeling here on the ground?
Yeah, it's kind of what Sayeed said. You know, we're talking a lot about meme coins and pump and dumps and whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. And it's both a good thing and a bad thing, because now your average Joe can make a bunch of money on these meme coins and go and support the people that actually matter and the actual creatives that are doing the work here.
A quick word from our sponsors who's ready to navigate the cutting edge of tomorrow's legal landscape. Because at WrldChngrs, they're not just attorneys, they're visionaries. With expertise in emerging technologies like AI, blockchain, and the metaverse, they're paving the way for you to seize the future. For mergers and acquisitions to IP, their selective team delivers strategic solutions tailored to the ever-changing world of technology. Join us at WrldChngrs, where the future meets the law at WrldChngrs.com. Back to the episode.
Right on. Well, let's spend the most of this show really unpacking WrldChngrs. Alejandro, you're always sort of in a creative headspace. Every time I've ever talked to you and met, we've always sort of talked about the nature of Web3 and technology and music and how it's intersecting. And this seems like this project is coming like deep within you from like reflecting on what's happened in the space. Tell us a little bit about that inspiration and how this kind of came to be.
Yeah, thanks. Definitely, you're right. I started making NFTs in 2021, and I was just making them to get art out of me, instead of just filming and creating music videos and stuff. And it was such a release, and I was observing everything that was going on. I'm a documentary maker, so I was naturally just hearing, listening to all the projects and all the technology and all the characters in the space. And I got invited to do a project for John Lennon and Julian Lennon and Paul McCartney.
Wow.
Which was amazing. It was like for charity, for the White Feather Foundation, and that was 6 NFTs that raised like $180,000, and that went to the charity. But I acted as about kind of a conduit between that kind of world of IP and Beatles kind of fans and NFT world, which are two different worlds. And so that was a great learning curve for me of how to translate the same words, but people mean different things, and it was a success. So from that, I was invited to creatively direct this project. It was about superheroes and social world impact, and I was kind of going to figure it out over the course of a year and a half, 2 years. And so we've been on that journey, and so superheroes, some AI technology, so it's customizable.
So where did this idea for superheroes and AI come from?
Yeah, the AI was added much later. Guess when all the Lenser kind of thing was happening last year.
Yeah, but the fundamental concept of superheroes, where did that come from?
Fundamental concept of superheroes comes from change and everyone's internal ability. We constantly have to evolve, like this space, like everything. You don't evolve, you don't carry on. And that is a motif that everyone relates to as a kid. You're superheroes and making the best of yourself. So that has been, we've created hand-drawn art because they wanted with the ability to be generative later.
Yeah, I can really relate to that. And someone just texted me this morning about sort of the need in times like this for this abundance mentality, and I think there's a relationship there with superheroes in the sense that, like, how do you keep that positive energy in your mind, right? Like you have a coach, you have a mentor, you have a hero that's like picking you up, right? Is that some of it?
Yeah, everyone goes through things, and there's something that has to happen to you in order for you to grow. So it's kind of, things don't happen at us, things happen for us. And if you can get in that mindset, get more out of life. So it's to really embrace things that happen and make it into change.
Cool. So you came on as creative director, and then you put together a pretty cool team. I know some folks that you just met for the first time last few weeks in New York, which is sort of not atypical in Web3. Jeff, Ethan, and I, we were doing a podcast together. We didn't actually meet in person for like 6 months. I think it was actually at NFT New York that we met first time. So I could reminisce with that experience. How did the team come together?
Yeah, you're just so right. And that's, I've built teams before for music videos, films, and then at Winston House, building community. And it's a kind of vibe. You see how people communicate and their frequency and energy. And my friend Pete, who's working at Crossmint, introduced us to Sayeed here at MetaSeed Labs. And it was great. I'd seen what they'd done and the range of projects they'd done, and I thought it would be a great mix and blend. So yeah, it's been great.
And then the rest of the team?
Yeah. And so my artist Blue, I met him in Venice. It was a clubhouse meeting, and someone said, "You guys should meet on." So we dived for a quick coffee in Venice. He was flying off to New Zealand. And then that's been 2 years now of hand-drawn art, of communicating in different time zones.
Wow.
And then Dyana as well, a friend David, who's starting Archive, the founder of that. Boyfriend works on that. He's a dev on that project. And then so there's another vibe, and it's been amazing. UX design and problem solving, and just being like really ambassador, embodying the project as well, as you can see.
Very cool. Well, I'd love to sort of dive into some of the unique elements of the project. Maybe what makes it a little bit different than some of the other projects that have happened in this space and all this meme coin stuff, right? So what are some of the more serious aspects of the project that you're focused on?
Yeah, it feels all serious, but with a fun, superheroes. But it's the underlying, an underlying part, which is a self journey as well, is this ability for journaling. So you've got the characters that can be customized. There's a hero builder, so there's a lovely experience there. But then underneath the characters, there's a box where once a day you can write a journal entry post, and it's something I found incredibly helpful in life.
So when you say you write that, is that online or
Yeah, it's underneath your hero, and so there's a record of it, and you can have one post
permanent record on the blockchain?
Yeah,
very cool.
Yeah, and so I think doing that something consistently like that, that's not in a journal, that's hidden on in a drawer.
It's public for everyone to see. So
yeah, and it's not like Instagram or Twitter or something, which is like a post where you have to come up with a dog or a coffee or life thing. This is something thoughtful that when you look back on it, even a week prior, you're like, well, I was thinking that. And then with community being able to look at it, your character will be built that way. We're not creating a lore that's just meaningless. It's kind of, it could be really creative, but it's just like you're going to create your meaning to your.
How does that process of co-creation work?
Yeah, well, I think just daily you'll grow. We have journal prompts. We're working with a journal company, Quantum Journal, with Jenny, and these journals, the prompts open you up to sort of think in amazing, positive ways.
Nice. Yeah, maybe that's like the last thing I need to kind of get over the hump of journaling, because I've thought about it for a long time, right? And I was like, yeah, it makes sense. I should do this. I know there's studies about the positive benefits of journaling.
Yeah, and I've been doing it the past 3 months in particular. I've do it constantly, and I would write, I'm going over to the kettle to make a cup of tea, and then I'll make it and come back and say it went really well. I've managed to slow time down. It sounds crazy, but it's been amazingly useful, and so having that visible for the rest of the community to see, things like that, it just opens up another level of kind of intimacy and intelligence that I think then people will co-create together, because I've seen that happen constantly.
Cool. Are there any other features of the project that you all want to touch on?
Yeah, what I love about this project is it's really like merging a lot of unique technologies together. So they're leveraging Web2 technologies, they're leveraging Web3, blockchain,
like what?
And AI. The cool thing about this project is like Web3 is all about identity and building your, finding an avatar that meets you. But a lot of times it's hard to like go find traits that match. With this one, we're building a full-blown character builder. So you get to actually like pick what your character looks like, build an avatar that resonates with you, or that resonates with the representation of who you want to be, like in the context of being a hero. So that's the first step. And then we're including an integration with like a stable diffusion model. So you can actually take selfies of yourself and then merge that with the character that you built to get an output that actually reflects how you look aesthetically on top of the hero that you built.
Oh, wow. That sounds like some pretty new technology that probably like you didn't have a chance to sort of implement even like a year ago in the world of Web3.
Yeah, like the ability to like self-service, building your own, training your own stable diffusion model and hosting it is definitely like new to the space. And being able to marry that with like a smart contract is very, very high tech. And I'm glad that we could be brought in to help put that together, because now we can let you build a character, mint a token, associate the token to the art. Now you can work with the diffusion model to get a new output and reassociate the token to the art. So your tokens, artwork, and metadata is dynamic here, and it's constantly updating. And in the future, we can work with the team to do all kinds of cool kind of morphing and evolution of your character.
Yeah, I mean, the obvious thing that I'm sure you guys have thought about that comes to mind for me is sort of the ability with like Sora to start to create like movies with your characters. And like, then what happens if like my hero and your hero and your hero are suddenly in a movie scene together?
Yeah, you could have a spin-off series. You could have your character could have its own social feed, its own, content creation, its own brand even. So it could go a million different ways.
Wow. It's very interesting to start to think about all that. Is there anything else technically that you found like challenging in a fun way around this project?
I think just the AI is probably the newest thing that I've kind of been dealing with. I'm an advisor to an AI like creation platform, so I had a little bit of context there, but being able to take existing work and use like stable diffusion and control net and computer vision, all these like new machine learning technologies to like morph your art in an automatic scalable way is pretty innovative in my opinion, and I think people will like seeing how we execute on that.
Well, Diana, from a user experience perspective, I feel like that's also an area that's really evolved very quickly. What are some of the newer sort of UX strategies that you sort of integrated into your approach to the UX design?
Yeah, my main goal is being able to translate my designs as best as I can to the developer. And we've done a really good job at that, I think. In terms of the design itself, we wanted something completely different, really new. So we're integrating this like almost old style kind of MySpace vibe to it, but with a comic book style. And where the MySpace vibe comes in is you have a dashboard and you're going to have your vault where your heroes are going to live. Then you're going to have your links, kind of like a link tree. You can post some links to your other social medias. So if you want to link your link, change your link tree to WrldChngrs / your links in your dashboard. That's more traffic to the website. And then you have your journal entries, which that's where you'll be able to see. And farther on along, we want to implement frequencies. So you can have frequencies play on your dashboard, and there'll be a frequency playing while you're hero building as well. So it kind of brings that personification into the app itself, and that's where the uniqueness comes from it. And I'm just really excited to be able to see where it all comes to and how people are going to use it.
It's the moment of truth, right? Like all that work comes out, and what will the world think about it? Well, I'm excited too. Is there anything else on the roadmap? It's that moment of truth where you've worked on this so much time and energy, and now what does the world think about it? Alejandro, anything on the roadmap that you wanted to touch on that maybe we didn't cover yet?
Yeah, thanks. I think it's world impact, and I think how we sell or one-on-one communication has been really good in explaining the project. There's a few touch points to it, but people have, I was at a blockchain conference in LA last week and speaking to people, and their eyes kind of light up at different parts of it, the technology, the art, hand-drawn art, the AI part, journaling, and then the sort of social impact, world impact element that, it's going to be things with roots stay longer. I think that's something I'm really interested in. So it's not just trying to blast it out and sell. It's people. We want people to use it and get a real enjoy it and get a benefit from it, and that's the sort of value that will be locked and then unlocked within it.
Cool. So where can people go to sort of learn more about the project?
You can go to WrldChngrs.io. That's our holding page for now. You can submit your email. If you submit your email, you'll get a cool PDF with some comic books, some comic style PNGs, and you'll also get more information and be the first to get notified of the actual drop.
And we don't have a official date yet for the drop?
Yeah, possibly May 1st. So we've got a month from sort of now just to implement all the things we've learned, feedback, and build in public. And there's a few changes because of latest technologies and things we're learning right now, which is great. That's why we're here.
Cool. Say anything else to add in terms of this project, what you're excited about coming ahead from now?
Nothing specific, but I think Ale's put together a great team, and he's kind of got an eye for like what is new and cool. And I think that we're just happy to be part of the journey, so that when he gets inspired and has an idea or sees someone executing on something cool, or a new technology pops up, that we can be there to help bring his vision to life.
Very cool.
One more thing. We're all part of other communities as well. Some really great communities right through the space, and so it's great seeing them all here, seeing what they're doing, and then they're coming in and out, and we support them as well.
Very cool.
And now for a quick word from our sponsor before we dive into the next segment. Are you ready to take your sports predictions to the next level? Look no further than maincard.io, the fantasy management platform that's taking the blockchain world by storm. With MainCard, every card is a ticket to excitement. You can predict sport outcomes, trade cards in the marketplace, and challenge opponents in thrilling weekly duels. And don't wait. Head to maincard.io now and start earning rewards with your NFTs, because it pays to be early. And now back to today's episode.
So before we close out, I want to do a mini version of a segment that we have on the show that I think would be a lot of fun with this group called Edge Quick Hitters. Those of you that may not have, it's a fun, quick way to get to know you better. And there's going to be a couple questions, looking for a short, single word, a few word response, but feel free to expand on the answer. So since there's so many of you, it'll just be a mini version. The first question was the first thing you remember purchasing in your life?
Candy.
Okay.
It was a bottle of Coca-Cola.
Nice.
The first thing that comes to mind is not purchasing, but when I was around 5 years old, back when Blockbuster was a thing, you remember Blockbuster?
Sure.
I stole a big family-sized Crunch bar, and I feel so guilty about it to this day.
All right. So maybe
I'm a
there's
comic. I just remembered it was that comic as well. Same time.
I think maybe there's something you can do around your hero to or journaling to get over that finally. So second question is, what's the first thing you sold in your life? Let's start with you, Diana.
Oh, the first thing I sold in my life. Well, I feel like I've been a criminal all my teenage and young adult life, but I used to trace images from coloring books and sell them for a quarter in 5th grade. And it worked. That was the first thing I've ever sold. So another thing I'll journal about.
Nice. And Alejandro, you're next.
Yeah, similar. Ghostbusters. I used to draw the Ghostbusters logo at school for like 50p or 20p. I can't remember. Yeah, I used to kids.
Really? I love that movie.
The reason I wanted to grab the mic from her was because I have a very similar one too. I used to trace the Jinko logo, and I was selling that to kids in my class in 5th grade.
All right. This is wild, guys. Three like tracers all selling other people's art. Now we're in Web3. That's why we like to ask that question. All right. So normally this is Richard, but I will ask the bonus question in this case, which is, what was your favorite superhero growing up that inspired you, either in real life or someone in the entertainment genre?
Well, my name is Diana, and Wonder Woman's name is Diana. And I love Wonder Woman, and a lot of people think I am Wonder Woman, which is a good guess, but I'm WrldChngrs. Yeah, that's the only thing I can think of.
All right, she was pretty badass.
Yeah, I just made a connection as well, but Stevie Wonder. But his name's Wonder, but yeah, Stevie Wonder as a kid. I used to love loads of artists, but Stevie Wonder would be because of his senses. And he's a superhero. I mean, his music's incredible, and I play piano. And
undoubtedly a superhero.
He's a superhero, yeah, Stevie.
I'm a big Spider-Man guy. I love him because he didn't start or wasn't born as a superhero. He kind of just fell into it one day. So it was a very relatable character, like being a kid growing up.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to date myself, and you guys can judge me, but my answer will be Hulk Hogan. I was a huge Hulk Hogan fan. I went to all those wrestling matches. Like, there's something about like his energy, and he always found a way to win at the end of the day. And I think that's that grit. So I would like, wrestle, and like it'd be a really long match, but ultimately I would win like Hulk Hogan. So that's my answer. There you have it for another fun episode of Edge of NFT. Thanks for sharing this time with us today. And check us out on Twitter, YouTube, subscribe on any of our many platforms. Thanks for joining us today, guys.
Thanks for having us.
The views and opinions expressed on Edge of NFT reflect solely those views and opinions of the show hosts and its guests. Please make sure to do your own research. Our show is not financial advice. You understand that you are using any and all information available on or through this podcast at your own risk. Whenever making financial decisions, we recommend doing your own research and talking to your accountant for financial advice. From time to time, we may feature sponsored content on the show for which we receive value, and we may share links for which we receive a commission if you make a purchase through one of those links. Refer to our website, www.edgeofnft.com, for our full disclaimer, terms and conditions, and privacy policy.